Always got that lag in front of it. Hold on. Waiting for it. Alright, I think I am live-ish. Howdy, avatars. And I'm sure that there's like 0 people watching now because you guys always take a while to filter in. For those here who are here early and get to see me on full screen, you can see the I'm rebuilding a server is one of the things I'm doing on the side here right now to have a server for off-site replication. The data center we have everything in is super duper safe. Fire, dry fire extinguishers, no fire hazards, but we still do like to have multiple security measures to get in. But we do like to still have off-site backups. Right now I've got one where I've basically gone in with a big 8 terabyte hard drive and done the imaging that way every now and then for the off-site. But I'm trying to get something set up with basically using rsync to move down images of everything, so we don't have to waste bandwidth on terabytes and terabytes of data. And forgive me if I do a little coughing today. I'm not sure if it's the allergies or if it is the yard work I did this weekend or what it is, but I've had some type of sinus suffering. Hopefully not going to turn into bronchitis, as I have a history of turning into bronchitis. Let's see if I can get the dog camera a little bit better there. Mojito, can I cover? There you go, bud. There's the dog cam to cover my chat. Oh yeah, and I forgot to pull up my stream chat. Where does that live? Stream health, 0 viewers. Chat, there it is. And yes, Jack and Laz have both told me to go and get the various chatting programs and other things on there, but I have not managed to go and get them yet. Waiting for viewers. So today I'm just going to do a little playing, a little streaming of some stuff I thought was cool that I stumbled on. And answer questions and maybe fix a few bugs on while you guys are here based on your feedback. Oh, 27 viewers. Okay, now I can start talking. For those who are just joining in, again, part of the reason why we're doing this is we believe Twitch is one of the best ways to expose the game to lots of people. And we do have some Twitch viewers, but we're trying to get our own channel turned into a Twitch partner so that they promote us and we can get a lot more viewers that way. And we have the numbers. We always have enough viewers on average. Our challenge has been getting enough content, trying to make sure we get 25 hours of content and 12 videos on 12 different days throughout the month so that we can get bumped up to partner. So anyways, that's what I'm working on, but I'm also trying to bring you guys some good content for those who are excited about the game and want more than a 1-hour stream a week chance to talk about it. So for those who are watching right now, feel free to throw your questions up into the Twitch chat, and I will jump on them as quick as I can. But today I want to start off with a town, showing off a town that I found that I hadn't seen before. I don't know how I didn't know this was here. It's Oakenhammer's town. He has no idea I'm like giving a special preview of his little fort town. I just thought it was cool. I just stumbled upon it. I go into towns every now and then whenever I see one I haven't been in before. And I thought this one had a cool theme. It's not on the water like almost every town is. And just the really cool deco theme of fort, fort, fort. Everything fort. And then it's nice inside in terms of houses. I didn't look to see if he had many lots that were available in here. Looked like quite a few of them were lots that he had claimed, which is part of why I came to show off some stuff. As we just did a stream on Friday where we talked about row houses and cool uses for them. And this was one that after doing that and seeing some of the cool uses for it, this was one where I just thought he did a great job of, like, it's a small space, but he crammed a bunch of stuff in here. But in terms of using the row houses, like, I thought these were just super cool and well done in terms of deco. And like, this extremely well done in my opinion. Just in terms of the little magic shop, and he's got all the cloaks in here. Ring of the Mouse. But anyways, I thought these were very well done, and he did a great job with his little fort town here. If you guys are looking for a place to live, like I said, I don't know if he has any opens. Yeah, it looks like he's got a few openings here. This might be a place to try out. It is Forge Right, governed by Oakenhammer. Don's Keep. Let's see. I'll give Don's Keep. Let me show people where this is on the map. And then I'll head over to Don's Keep. Fly buff, Atos, move speed, 15. Alright. Forget how to get out of this town. And I do have, for those who are new to watching me stream, there's a camera there that's on my dog. One, because my dog is awesome. But really the primary reason is because that's my chat, so you guys can't see when somebody sends me some chat. So if you want to send me private messages, feel free. And I have somebody asking if they can borrow me for 30 seconds, so I will teleport to them right after I zone out here so I can show you guys. Then I'll go to Don's Keep. For those who were watching carefully today, we released a QA build. It is up. It has some crazy new stuff in it. This is the big reason we wanted to get it out extra early and actually get it out extra early. It's every usual thing where we say we're going to get it out early and then we don't. Is because we're trying again some of the things we'd tried before but ran into stability or other problems with them, which is switching over to Unity 2018.3, which actually gives some performance boosts. We're also going to be trying again something we haven't tried in a while called IL2 CPP, which, of course, when they announced it, it sounded like the holy grail of Unity improvements. And when we tried it last time, it didn't seem to give any improvements at all. It actually was the worst performance. We're trying that again as well, and that actually seems to be giving us a good boost. But I don't know for sure whether it's the Unity 2018.3 upgrade or the IL2 CPP. We're also going to turn back on texture streaming, although we haven't done that yet. For those who missed it, we had that turned on at the start of last release. And I heard two things a lot. My performance is better from people on lower machines, and also my load times are better. And then the other thing that I heard was, wow, I'm crashing a lot more than I normally do. So we always favor not crashing to performance. So we turn that off. We're hoping with a newer build that we'll get a little more stability out of it. Although that's not always the case. So, and for those who know where the Obsidian Trial is, right there, that hole in the ground. I have to admit I did not know where the Obsidian Trial was. I always cheat and teleport there. But you guys can too, because you have teleport scrolls to it. But Forge Right is just right up here on the hill. So an Oakenhammer is the governor. You should talk to him about grabbing a spot in there. All right, I'm going to zone to somebody. Whoops, that's not how you zone. Is that not it? Did I mistype it? Forgive me, I know this is horrible streaming. I'm just Subrob. Hey, I can't get his name right. Oh wait, I'm stupid. I can just cheat and go this way. All right, now that I got that going, somebody needs help. They believe they have an item stuck in a wall, and for some reason they think I can help them. I will give it a try. While I wait for some questions. Oh, it looks like we got a few questions showing up here. Uh-oh. Please, I'm here, and I'm trying to remember what the dev... No, that's so cool. Is that the thing stuck into the wall that he's talking about? And it's a basement. Got it. It's not the... Wait a minute. I wonder if that's intentional. I mean, it looks really cool. Having that thing behind there and you get the purple effects behind it. Hopefully this shows up on the stream. But he's got a halberd stuck behind there. Let me talk to this guy. I don't even know if he's watching the stream. Trying to find out what is stuck. Allergies. All right, well, this is not good stream time here. I'm really just waiting for the viewers to join in here, and I'll start answering some questions. But responsive. He wants that stupid glowing staff, is what I was just told by somebody. Oh, is that what he's making that out of? He's making the staves. I see. Surprised you can't get that. Oh, geez, I gotta figure out, remember my dev command to override deco stuff. Hold on a second, even more bad streaming stuff here. I gotta get my cheat command out. Hold on, get my cheat sheet. Hold on. Alright, I'm having trouble finding it. Talise just informed me that this is Club Zero or something, and asked me not to take any screenshots. I then told him that I was live streaming. Apparently, he did not know I was live streaming when he called me over to look at this. So again, sorry for the bad streaming stuff here. I inform him I do not know the dev command. I do not have the dev command handy to take ownership, and this is bad for my stream. Going to go look at stuff not bugged. All right. Now, back to you guys. 1 second. Okay, up to 80 viewers. Perfect. Now I can start talking. That's usually, these streams I've been getting about 120 people or so eventually, so I try to wait until I get enough people on there to actually start talking about interesting stuff. But now I've got enough people here, I can talk about, start answering some questions from chat. So first off, let me teleport to Don's Keep. Ooh, is it Don's Keep? Hey, I got it right. Sometimes the commands are weird, and that, like, if you put a apostrophe in them, it screws them up. I couldn't remember if that was one that it did. And we have to replace spaces with dots and underscores and some of them. All right, I'm now here at Don's Keep. Oh, but anyways, back to the more important stuff that affects all of you guys. So the QA build is out. My personal test, I did change machines recently, but I still think it wasn't my imagination that it was significantly faster. The other thing I noticed was it was using more than 50% CPU most of the time, which means it was using more than 4 cores. That's way more than it normally uses for me. It's usually in the like 3-core range. So I think that they actually got some more stuff to thread properly in Unity 2018.3. So that may be partially responsible for the performance, but I was seeing 60 frames a second pretty much everywhere. I found a few places in Owl's Head when I looked in the wrong direction it slowed down, but those may have been because I'm on a weak video card. Weaker, not super weak. It's a AMD 480. So a couple years old, middle of the pack. So here I am in Don's Keep. Oh, it's Rufus's town. Gee, I wonder if that's why he told me to come see it. Yeah, he's got lots. They've got lots of row lots here, row houses. So we should have. This is again secret information leaking out to those special people out there watching the stream. We're gonna be having a few new houses show up soon. I think we're going to have a few that may just be variations of existing ones, but I think also there will be our first house that is set up from day one to be dyeable, as in you can paint your house and choose your own colors. That won't be this next release, though. I think that's R65, maybe R66. I forget where that is. Star's probably going to be angry for me telling you guys ahead of time, but anyways, that'll be coming. That's something exciting for you, or it should be exciting for a lot of you guys. But let's see. Let me go down the question or the list here. Rosemorn says, "I'm actually curious how fast your chat gets spammed." It doesn't get spammed that quick, actually. There's not that many people spamming me with stuff. I mean, in general, I get like just random people who send me messages saying, "Come look at X, come look at Y," which is I actually really like when it's something I can go and fix easily. I did want to help out Talise. I just didn't have the commands handy. I didn't want to make you guys sit there while I went and read through all the different commands or searched the code to find the right command. But yeah, I mean, just usually when I get on, 2 or 3 people message me. It's probably not that much more than normal. People are actually pretty respectful of my time. They know I'm a busy guy. But hold on. Again, more bad stream stuff here. I'm going to blow my nose. Maybe I need to turn off my camera. Hold on. There we go. Now my camera's off. Now you can just see the dog. Blah. Hold on 1 second. All right. I think I removed all the snot from my face. I can turn the camera back on now. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong. Let's see. Mike Soda says, can't wait, trade chat. Yeah, for those who didn't know, that's one of the things we snuck in for our 64. This is actually already live on the QA build if you wanted to go try it out. But there's a trader chat in there. There's a channel just for merchants. Don't ruin my beautiful, perfect day. Trying to ruin my stream with weather and darkness. But yeah, so there's a trader chat that'll be just for traders. It's basically universal, but for traders. So we can 2 things: offload all that trade chat, but also give people, make them so they don't have to feel as guilty about things. That's on the QA build right now. I believe guild message of the day. Oh no, pop message of the day is live on QA right now, I think. And guild message of the day will be, I think, Lord Subtleton's working on that right now. For those who don't know what that is, that means that you'll be able to set up a message when somebody enters your pot. They'll get they'll get the message of the day, whatever you put up there. And of course, really what people will use that for more than likely is to announce upcoming events or just describe their town and, give a little backstory on their town. Same thing with guild stuff. I'm sure they'll announce events and talk about recruiting or whatever they want to. Up to you guys for how to use it. Let's see. Okay, now I'm getting lots of questions. Let's see. Can you check the drop rate of the spider encounter room blueprint in Hilt? After many tries, I have multiples of the recipe and blueprints for the rotunda and spider room, but not the spider blueprint. Yeah, the same things that drops one should drop the other. I think you're probably just getting unlucky. I'm taking a pass at those right now, though. For those who are dungeon fanatics, I think I saw Artemis was on here earlier. Yeah, there's Artemis. And he's a major dungeon fanatic, so is Tazar and a few other guys I know. But currently it looks like for R54, R64, numbers are so hard. It is going to be, there'll be 3 of the existing rooms that were listed as encounter. We'll have encounter versions of them. And then there'll be 1 new room that I'm working on right now. That'll be a new dungeon room. That'll be a big, cool dungeon room that's made for a big fight. That one will probably drop only in Ruined Keep, off the boss in Ruined Keep. So he'll have a blueprint drop, and the encounter in his room, assuming I can get it wrapped up in time, is going to be a troll-based encounter that's a major, basically as difficult. I'm shooting for making it as tough as that space is to fight by the time you get to level 3, and then level 4, 5, and 6 are head and shoulders above that. That's the goal anyways. Wish me luck. Got lots of stuff to do. But the drop rate, I'm going to look at the drop rate. The Owl's Head Sewers should be fixed for this one so we can actually get it dropping. We will see for sure, though. But the other thing is there's a change to how, after looking at how the current ones are out there and how... Oh, no. There we go. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, you guys couldn't tell what happened. I accidentally maximized my window. But the current way is when we did this time as a proof of concept one, we took one of the scenes that was already out there listed as encounter room and just flipped that over so it was always encounter room. We want to make those rooms so you can have the deco version and deco it if you want to, but then you can also, if you want to, you can swap it out and turn it into an encounter room. So that's actually going to be one that we're going to, for the new encounter rooms, there's going to be two versions of them, of the blueprint drop. And one will be the encounter version and one will be the deco version. But then we'll have a recipe where you can basically take the deco version, where that's one with all the deco layers and everything in it, and put it on a crafting table with stone chisel, and you can convert it over to be a encounter version. So the ones you have right now will probably not be. We're going to have ways that you can convert them back and forth between the two of them, the encounter and deco versions. Let me go back up here. Artemis, question. While looking at house NPC limits, can you look at pot limits and change either NPC houses or devotionals to deco? And that was one of the things. Let me make sure that's on my list. For those who are just joining me on this, I usually have a list of stuff going to try and get to, because if I don't, I forget about it. Let me make sure that's on the list. Devotion. I have nothing on devotionals on my list right now. Devotionals as decos, not houses. Yeah, I'll look into that as well. All right. Stupid nose. Amputate it. Hold on. Reading down questions. Sorry for the quietness. But yeah, I will look at all the drop rates again. Devil Colt says he got one spider drop. Took him 6 to 7 rotundas. The 3 that I was converting are going to be the rotunda is going to be one. I think it's called like something stupid like Stone Dungeon Room Lich Boss, or something like that. I'm going to make sure that one is dropping in the game, because I'm converting that. And that one is the room from the Rise, the final boss Lich room. I thought you guys had access to that. If not, I'll make sure that there's a blueprint in there for that. And then the other one is the Owl's Head Sewer. And some of those were chosen based on what creature types went in there, because I have to, for each one of these, part of the work is I have to go and make new special versions of the creature types and make them all tiered up. I think I've got things worked out a little better right now so that I can more quickly make them. That's kind of what I worked on today, was making it so I had prefab set up for the different types of creatures and different tiers, because in addition to the tiers of, like, you put the bigger and bigger totems and it gets more and more powerful, I'm trying to make sure that the rooms are not all equal. So not all tier 5 Lich rooms are exactly identical to other tier 5 Lich rooms. It actually varies. So, because that's one of the things we've had is, like, people are like, I want to go try one now. And it's like, well, you're too low level. We don't have anything below tier 5 right now. I'm trying to make sure that there's some in there that are a bit weaker. For those people who want to do something for beginner players or newbie players. Also, I just started pushing Dr. Bob, who may be watching this now, but just started work on the actual NPC. Oh, wait, hold on. NPC dialogue stuff. We're going to have another meeting on it soon, probably Tuesday. That's when our team meetings are, so we can get a head start on that. We're now at a point where, for whatever reason, everybody had vacations scheduled for March. So we'll see how the team meeting goes next week. We've got, let's see, Wizard Smoke is in Washington for his birthday trip. We've got Burning Toad is in China. Tomorrow he goes to Shanghai, China. Yes, I did tell him not to get shanghaied in Shanghai because you can't resist doing stuff like that. And now Sanyo is actually taking some time off. All these were scheduled way, way in advance, so uh, just inconvenient, but he'll be around mostly. He has family in town for an extended period of time, so he's actually just going to be working from home like we all do, but he's going to be working in the mornings and on a much reduced schedule for a while his brother's here. Let's see, I'm going to go down. Sharinda just said that she submitted February 20th case not approved yet. This is my second Lego check. Not approved yet. This is my second Lego check. Oh, hold on. I got myself going in the background there. I tried to go check in the, I'm on the front page of the website. And I'm going to check heraldry. This is a request on heraldry stuff. I'll see who's in there. I actually checked these earlier this week. Gotta wait for it. Gotta wait for it. Oh, these are some good ones. I don't see a Sharindra. I'm going to approve the ones that are in here that don't suck. There's one in here that's just a big picture of a dragon. It looks like it's pulled out of some fantasy stuff. No, you can't have that. The rest of these look pretty good, though. There's a duck. I would show you this screen, but it's got some secret information on it. Username to user ID, crazy stuff. Now I'm playing the little game where I see how many I can click before it refreshes. Oh, this game that I play, for those who didn't hear my story last time, we have a page that's like a slow loading web page where it loads, and when you click on the button, there's about a maybe 5-second delay, 10-second delay before it actually responds. And then if you just click one, then you got to wait like 10, 15 seconds, and then it'll come back and load all these images and all these things up. So anyways, page really painfully slow. So the game that I play is how many can I approve before the page updates, because it'll actually get them all at once. Then I don't have to wait on the really slow web page update. Except the downside is I've played that game a few times and lost, where I accidentally approved when I did not mean to approve, because it refreshed like in the middle of me trying to madly click through things. So again, if I still haven't seen them in game, but there's somebody who has like Led Zeppelin, like super copyrighted, and the name of a band on their heraldry. So I'm trying to find them so I can remove that heraldry, but it's tough to find it without having the username to go with it. We don't have a log that shows up on this, so I was really stuck with like looking through thousands of images trying to spot it, and decided that was not a good use of my time. So they can keep their Led Zeppelin until someone actually reports them. Hold on, I'm gonna blow my nose again. I know this is great streaming, right? Yeah, not much movement there. All right. Let me finish these guys. Click, 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 click. Did I win? Playing the game? Yeah. Only one is getting denied today. Again, that was just like obviously a copyrighted picture of a dragon with black background, and like how many different ways could you screw it up? It's a cool picture. Oh, I think that may actually be a Game of Thrones picture of a dragon. You cannot go grab Game of Thrones pictures of dragons. And throw it up there as if it's yours. 1 second. Deny. Hold on. Copyrighted and also black background. Wouldn't hold up in game. I'm pretty lenient on what I approve. We have some rules, but I try to be pretty nice about it just because I don't want to force you guys to go back through things again. But there's some limits. I mean, people are putting up like Boston Celtics logos and stuff like that. You're not going to get that approved as heraldry unless you get lucky and I play the game and lose and it refreshes at exactly the wrong time. Let's see. I get back to a few questions here. I'm falling way behind. Falling way, way behind. Oh, and again, sorry for the horrible streaming. I'm working on getting better at this, but I do get distracted a lot by work chat because it is the middle of a work day. But Travis was just saying that if Mojito is going to be a constant feature on the stream, he will be because he covers up my chat. That he's going to make an emoticon and an icon for him, and we're trying to get our stream cool, like the cool kids. Jack and Laz are trying to help us out a little bit, but get some more emotes that you guys can do and some icons and stuff like that. Apparently that's a thing, because remember, now we're actually like a big professional stream. Oh, and I was going to say, and you can throw bits at us or cheer us or whatever. It looks like I suck at this as well. Envyco threw me 100 bits. Thank you, Envyco. Hey, dude, I know you're one of the ones who needs a box. It's right back there. In case you missed the last live stream, that's one of the things I plan on starting to do this week, is I'm supposed to get a final list, really a final list, that has your names on it, and I'm going to start live streaming me packing boxes. So you guys know when it's coming. And I will definitely hit up the guys who I know have put in support tickets and people who ping me on the stream, and those guys first. So yes, I will get the squeaky wheels grease. But I am trying to get to everybody eventually. I just want to hit those guys first, because they are the ones who seem to be most upset about it and most passionate about it. So only 100 bits, all I got from Envyco, nobody else. We discovered on our live stream on Friday there's a lot more competition. There were people who are throwing, like, I think somebody threw 10,000 bits at the live stream because they were trying to be the top on the list. And now we know if you look on your cheer list on your chat thing, that goes like it keeps track of it for a week. So donating early in the week like this makes you show up on the Friday stream. Huh? Yeah? You want to have your name in headlights on the Friday stream? If so, you can donate now. Okay, I'm going to get back to some more questions here. I think I've answered all the work stuff, and I've done all of the looking over towns. Oh, this is a town I was supposed to look at. Let me show off this town quickly. Rufus's town. I'm going to cheat and show it off in ways you can't see. No? Yeah? Rufus has probably never seen it like this. Oh, a Quidditch field! All right, maybe that's Gus' ball. Yeah, this is nice as well. With it's got the whole wall thing around. It's got the inside, very much like a real castle would be, where it's got the outer wall and then it's got the inner wall. Very cool. Nicely decoed, but not overly done. Killing the frame rate overly done. You got all the row lots in here. Yeah, very nice, Rufus. Well done, sir. All right, let me get back to questions now. Yeah, and Sharinda, your name wasn't one of the usernames on there, so hopefully I got yours. You can check to see now. And hopefully I got it in there, but yeah, again, I approved all of them except for one that was a picture of a Game of Thrones dragon. Woofdom, question, Chris, is there positive news on increasing deco stacking from 5 to 8? So far, I haven't found a good reason not to, except you guys will figure out a way to get 60% taller by stacking crazy stuff on top of things and hit the sky dome practically, knowing how you guys stack those pillars up. Oh, that's cool. Very neat. But yeah, let me make sure that that is on my list. Stacking. All right, I'm putting that on, moving that to the end of the list to remind myself. Oh no, I have it there. Bump up max stack limit from decos from 5 to 8. Yeah, I did not find a reason why that was why it would be a problem other than the silly thing that you guys can now stack to the moon already. And Ravenslayer, yes, this is the Mojito cam. For those new to the stream, Mojito can be found in Owl's Head. He's the dog on the bridge, although the actual Mojito is much smaller. He's a 10-pound Italian Greyhound. That one's more of a Whippet or a Greyhound size in Owl's Head. Defected Zephyr. Question, Earthquake love. I've confirmed that it needs love. I have not given it love. I will bold that on my list because I already had that on there. I did check the balance though, and I'm trying to do more paying attention to DPS and check anything that I change. I'm trying to make sure I examine the DPS both in single target and group target situations. Because since I screwed up on the Envy Angel bow and did the double, somebody else made it equivalent to the Zen Penetrator bow, and then I piled some more stuff on top of that, which is why you guys got an Envy bow that was crazy powerful. And people sending me screenshots of hitting for like 2,600 points of damage and crazy stuff like that. And then I had to go immediately nerf the Envy bow. For those who saw in the last patch note, it actually came back up. I bumped it up a few points, so it should be a little bit better than it was. But I'm trying to, the reason I was mentioning that is I'm trying to make sure I DPS test everything, every change, so that nothing gets out there like that. Because, of course, the thing you guys hate more than anything is when I put something out and then I have to nerf it. So trying to avoid the nerfing, so going a little bit slower on a few things. Rufus says 72 row houses, baby cakes. Let's see. Oh, I just got a message on my chat saying pirate outfit is in a non-integration list. So we're gonna be doing one more patch. We needed to because we screwed up. I screwed up some integration stuff and pulled over some partial data from our definition list for all pots and every scene in the game. We start getting in tough spots with integrations in these late patches because there's some files that get touched a lot, and even though it's text-based format and it's easy to read text, it still gets crazy because you don't know which things go with what change, and it's tough to do the integrations. Anybody's had to deal with integrations on any source control program knows about that type of stuff. But anyways, that one file is a file that gets changed like 10 times a day by 5 different people. So it's tough to integrate for patches after the fact because it's had a bunch of these other changes, and I got to grab just the changes I want and move them over. So Burning Toad is normally the guy who does that, and he is a freaking wizard at it. I apparently have lost my wizard card because I screwed up one, and now there's 2 pots that people can't get to. So we have to do one more emergency patch for that, and I think we're going to turn on a few things for sale in that patch just because it's a pretty safe change to turn things on for sale. And we're trying to spread that stuff out throughout the month instead of it being at the start of the month, like, here's all the junk, and then you guys, buy things then, but not anytime else. So we're trying to spread it out. In a perfect world, we'd have all that stuff in there, and we'd just be able to turn it on as we went. We were behind on that stuff. Let's see. All right, back to questions. USNC Online. I'm on the current live build running an i9 9900K with GTX 1080. Compensating. 48 gigs of RAM, 4 SSDs, M2 Intel Optane. Ooh, Optane, I'm jealous. That is one thing I would like to get, but that's more for servery stuff than game stuff. Oh, and he's running at 3840. He's running at 4K. I'm seeing roughly 40 frames per second, 30 CPU use, 100% GPU. So we're using, this is again going to go into tech talk stuff, and I've mentioned this before on a few streams, but we're using deferred rendering. That's all different levels of deferred rendering now. But we're using the general deferred rendering, which is the cost of lights is proportional to how many pixels are on your screen rather than how many polygons that light touches. In forward rendering, it's proportional more to the number of polygons that light touches. Every light that touches a polygon forces that to re-render. So that can get more expensive in most cases. What we've seen, though, is the deferred rendering, where it re-renders a screen once for each light, is not a big deal on 1080, but on 4K video, where you got 4 times as many pixels on there as 1080, that actually starts to add up and can even bog down a 1080 card. There's also some other stuff in Unity that seems to be bogging down the CPU side of things, which really is not something that should happen. There's not that much that happens based on screen resolution that happens in the rendering on the CPU side. There shouldn't be, but there is something as well. So 4K, we support it, meaning that you can turn that little dial up to 4K, but yeah, it destroys performance in most cases. And again, there's a couple different reasons, but most likely it is, in his case, it's just due to the number of pixels times the number of lights, pixels on your screen, and 4K has 4 times as many as 1080p. Anyone else think that's weird how they went from 1080p and then instead of going to 2160p, that everybody calls it 4K? Totally marketing spin, of course. Of course, I never understood why 1080p. Why didn't they call that 2K or 1.9, 1920? Back to questions. So USNC Online, that is why if you put it to 1080p or something in between, it would be much faster, 60 frames a second at all times. All right. I think Chris should auction off that tissue. Envy, I still need to ship your boxes. I'll make sure and stuff one of these into the box for you, okay? You won the auction. 500 coins. Oh, we got somebody else also threw coins. Stream RPG. That's good. Get some competition going there. That seems to be what drives people to buy stuff. Again, I'm going to pause my camera. Speaking of making souvenir tissues. Bam. I'm a real man. I'm using paper towels, not tissues. Because that's what I have nearby. All right, I'm back. Hopefully, it's not free. Let's see. Artemis, I think I already answered this one, but which are the 3 rooms that are going active for dungeons on QA? So right now, none of the ones on QA are live, or they're not live on QA. I have not submitted those. And then once I submit them, I then have to go make sure and add them to the loot bundles and all that jazz. But it's going to be the Hilt Rotunda. It'll be the Lich Boss Room, the Lich Room from The Rise. And it will be the Owl's Head Sewer room. And again, for those who got here late, which it looks like a lot of people did, the way that'll work is going forward, they're going to drop, there'll be two versions that drop. One is the decoable version, and one is the encounter version of the blueprints. Now you can craft whichever one. Like if you get a encounter one you need to craft, you'll get the encounter version. But then you can take the room after that and then put it on a crafting table. And you can turn it into the other version. That may be one of those things that we put a little monetization into to get it, swap it over, since it's a convenience thing for you guys, so you don't have to go find the other ones. But I haven't added anything yet. And that is, for those people who don't know, that is kind of where we try to monetize, is convenience stuff, or more of the things where you screwed up and you want us to fix it. Those are the things we try to monetize on. We try, as a rule, I try to make it never the free-to-play model that I've always complained about is we're going to make a good game, and then we're going to screw it up and make you pay to remove the pain points. So we're trying not to do that. We're trying to make a good game and then just have you monetize for cool-looking stuff like cool outfits, decos, and also for convenient stuff that is not too painful or too frustrating, and then also for the you screwed up situation. An example of that is the what is it called, the Book of Unlearning, where you can unlearn stuff. That's a perfect example of a you screwed up. Technically, that's one where it could be we screwed up too, because we had something unbalanced or fixed something or nerfed something, and you're like, F that, I want out of this tree. And you just want to dump swords and move to pole arms or bows or whatever the hot and sexy is right now. But anyways, it's still kind of a you screwed up thing. All right, I'm way behind here on questions. Can we dieable castle and palisade walls? Must die all the things. The period between each one of those. That's what the pauses were for. So there's lots of stuff we want to make dieable. And this is one that was a player's suggestion of just having it so, like, make it use a bunch of dies as duh. But the challenge is, when we make these things, we have to go and set out. It's not just a turn it on, because, we can always do, for anybody who knows much about graphic stuff, we can always just go and change the color of the shader and put a color into it and change it that way. That really sucks in almost all situations, because you color everything on the thing. So usually what we have to do is go and we set up a texture that defines what channels, where the die goes for different channels. So you can imagine a texture that has, like, everywhere where red is turned on, that gets this color. Everywhere green is turned on, that gets this color. Everywhere blue is turned on, gets that color. It's that kind of map. So we have to map out that stuff so it looks good. And you guys may say you just want to, like, I just want to turn my whole building, pink or whatever, but it would look even more horrible than you imagine it would look. You're probably, if you're going for pink, you probably know you're trying to make it look hideous and offensive to your neighbors. But it would look even worse than that, like your wood colors turning pink and stuff like that. So we try not to let you guys get that low. But anyways, yeah, we will be adding those. It does take some work. We're doing this one as an experiment. There's a little bit of tech we have to do to enable the dyeing for the painting of houses, because that's something that's not currently supported for houses. It's supported for decos. It's supported for clothing, but there'll be a little bit of work to get it supported for houses. And then we have to basically figure out what we can get away with. Because some of these houses, there's two different ways, for people who don't know much about 3D stuff. There's kind of two different main ways to build things. One is when you build the 3D model. And if I'd been planning ahead on this question, I could have pulled up some good examples. But you build the 3D model, and that's probably trying to find a good example of an object. That one may have it. But you build the entire object, you build it into a single texture or a couple of textures, where it's got everything's in there, kind of atlas, where, like this part here is in the same texture, and this part here is over in a different part of the texture, and this part here is over in a different part of the texture, and it's one texture. So that helps some with draw calls, in that whole object can be drawn in one draw call. It can be less efficient. It can be more efficient in some ways, but it can be less efficient in the other way, which is kind of the more old school way, which is how a lot of these houses are made, which is they have a texture and a material per type. So, like, it has a plaster texture, and then it has a wood grain texture, and then it has a different wood floor grain texture. Oh, that's not going to work. So it's got the wall texture, and then it's got the cement texture, and those are all different textures, which means that's a different object, and it has to be rendered in a separate draw call. Except that we can do different types of batching. So in cities like this, it can actually be more efficient because, guess what? This stone texture here that you're seeing gets used in a lot of different objects. So we can batch all those guys up or instance them in, case of these guys here, where these are almost certainly being drawn instanced, which means instead of us sending all these verts to the GPU over and over again, we're sending one copy of it, and then we're telling it render that copy here, 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 and here. Again, try and keep it simple, not too techy, but that's kind of how it works. But anyways, the reason I was mentioning that was for the house dying, is some of these we may be able to do it without doing the red, green, blue cutout sheet that I was talking about. Do it just by like having the, hey, wherever there's the plaster texture, let you plot or dye the plaster text or texture. But that's one where we're going to have to look at these things and see. Because you guys really want pink dyeable houses, right? You want to dye your houses pink? All right, let's see. So Black Moon 1981, how about being able to build your own house instead of a prefab house? Kind of back in UO, an 18 by 18 to build the house from ground up. So that is one of the things we've looked at and talked about, where we give you either to the point of building bricks or building, wall sections. The wall sections is probably more likely to happen, but I mean, as you've seen, we continue to add more and more stuff. The dungeon, I think, is a good example of that. There's some stuff that I've tried out with the dungeon that works pretty well. That basically is just we have sockets on how things can connect, and we have rules for how things connect. And with those rules for how things connect, you guys see it in the dungeon where you can connect, a doorway to a doorway. There's rules for that as well. But we can also use that same thing to say, hey, here's a house set that's based on a 8 meter by 5 meter grid, and we know the rules for how they connect, so you guys could actually put down a wall, a wall, a wall, a ceiling, a ceiling, a ceiling, ceiling floor, and build the house that way. So that's one we've looked at. That's not on our schedule. That needs a lot more experimentation before we do it, and it would need an art set. Thank you, Devil Cult, for the bits. Again, I suck at the streaming thing. I'm really just here to answer questions for you guys. Are crafting skills affected by int, strength, or dex? I do not believe they're currently affected by int, strength, or dex. Elwin Moon says, is the website down? Please say no. Please tell me the website is not down. The website is not down. For those who didn't know, we had a brief outage yesterday. The game was still up, but the website went down. And when the website goes down, we can't. That also includes the auth server. We're still working on separating those two things out so that the game can't be brought down by the website going out. But there's a lot of sync issues we worry about when that happens. That can create some bad cases for the game. If the website's down and you can get into game and how the stuff gets delivered to it. But the website went down because of the forums about once every 6 months to a year. There's this one particular database table in the forums that gets so big that it just says I'm done and stops working and brings down the whole website. Tassilo, name you probably don't hear that much anymore. He still works with us, still helps us out. He's over in Barcelona right now. But he jumped in and looked at it, fixed that up, and he's setting up basically a cron job to go and clean up that table so it doesn't happen to us anymore. For those who don't know, that is one of the things we try to do. I always call it building lightning shields. Whenever lightning strikes some place that, even though it probably will never strike the same place again, you always, take a chance. You just build up a a fix to make sure it never happens again. That's kind of how we do things both for the website, but that's also how we do things for integration builds and stuff like that. Whenever we have a problem that comes up in a build that can waste time, we try to build integration checks for it to make sure it never happens again, whether it's like mismatched IDs or recipes that have identical ingredients to other recipes, or names changing on things where names shouldn't change. Whatever it is, we've got hundreds, if not thousands, I don't even know how many we have now, of integration tests that catch all that stuff. And that's part of the whole, sometimes the way to go fast is to go slow, and that's one of those things where we try to go slow on that stuff, and it's annoying as hell, and I complain about it as well because I break things all the time and check in bad stuff. But in the long run, it helps us go faster and introduce fewer new bugs. So anyways, that's all I'm going to say about that. Now I have to blow my nose again. Yeah, quality streaming content here. Why do I see List Rostov Merlin? Oh, is Travis here with me? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. God, I can't remember what the walk button is. Did I actually hit walk? I'm not encumbered. Oh, somebody will have to tell me what the walk button is. I'm not going to go look it up. And Travis, I saw your pet here, so I know you're here griefing me. If you want to, you can jump on Skype, and I'll throw you up in a corner, and you can do some talking too. Because two people's better than one. And Invico says, Chris, you should get some xylometazoline hydrochloride spray. Seriously, miracle cure for a cold. So I do not believe this is a cold. This is Texas allergies. Austin is an amazing town. But one of the things it sucks at, well, there's a bunch of things it sucks at. One is cost of living is going through the roof quickly. Two is traffic, but really the thing that kills me and also Star, for people who know about his history of nose problems, is the allergies. It's a really, really bad town for allergies. I can actually turn, let's see, I'm going to turn the camera here. Oh, I don't have the camera on, so you guys won't even know that I'm turning the camera unless I do something. There we go. I'm going to turn the camera here, and I'm going to see, I think you guys might be able to see. There's my window. Hold on, wait for it. I'm not sure if it shows up on camera. There's Maxine's swing down there, and her little playhouse hidden behind there. But there's stuff on the window. It's dirty, and that is actually crazy, crazy amounts of cedar pollen. You can just see it. You see it in the sky. There's so much of it. Not normal that you see pollen in the sky like that. But you'll see it like drifting in the side or on the sidewalk, where it's like you can see it in piles, where you could actually just reach down and pick up a pinch of it and snort it if you want to. That probably wouldn't be healthy. But yeah, I wish it were cold, because then it would go away. But no, this is allergies, and it goes for a long time. Let's see. Graham Wormsbane. Question: will there be different reward program tiers added? Yes, I sure hope so. That's one of those things that is largely a Taslo thing. And he has been with us for 7 years. I think that's how long I've worked with him, how long ago I hired him. But he, predating Shroud of the Avatar, but he was in a serious case of burnout. And wanted to go part-time for a while, so right now he's part-time, so we're not adding much new web stuff. He still jumps in like yesterday and bails us out whenever needed on critical stuff, but he's on a little bit of a leave of absence, trying to get unburned out. I think the last time I talked to him, he was signed off with, and now I'm going to go smoke a bowl. But again, I think that's legal wherever he is, so up to him. Kron SC question: any updates on a new, faster build box? It is. I've got the shell sitting behind me somewhere in that pile of junk. It's actually on the floor over there. It's that 2U unit on the floor. If I can see where I'm actually pointing, yeah, that thing. That is actually a 2U server thing that should handle the faster motherboard and all that stuff, so we can throw build machines in there. That's my experiment. I have not started my experiment. I just need to have that done before Burning Toad gets back. But that's where that will be going. I will be getting a faster build machine. For those who don't know, when we went office free, for those who didn't know, we don't have an office, a full-time office anyways. We have an office we can borrow that's part of the data center we use. We can go and use conference rooms there. That's where we hold our team meetings. But to get to an office-free state, one of the things that was tying us down and also making it difficult to move was we had a total of 17 server boxes. So every time we moved, the biggest nightmare was moving our server room at our office, because it has all these like dev servers and 5 build machines and Jira Confluence and email and all these other things. So all those things have now been racked. But one of the sacrifices we made was we couldn't put our faster build machines in there. And really all Unity cares about is the single-threaded fastest core. That is true for the game largely, a little less than it is for the build machines. For the build machines, it's really true. It really just uses one core all the way through the build process, and there's not a good way for us to thread that for them. Hashtag Unity, open source your engine so we can fix it. It's a long hashtag, but maybe it'll catch on. But anyways, so I'm having to rebuild some of our fast machines with non-server boards and non-server stuff in rackable stuff to go through them in the data center. For those who are IT guys saying, well, just get a shelf and throw it up there. We tried, and the current build machines, the boxes they're in, are just a little too tall. They're like super server tower things. And I would have to put them into a smaller one just so we could turn the box sideways and rack it like you might do with a a Dell Tower server or something. So anyways, trying this one first because it was a cheap experiment, and I'll let you know. But we got to get the build machines faster. Our build times went from like 3-ish hours to 7 hours for the Linux build. So that's why we're having some patch problems, and patches are painful right now. Rufus says he's still unemployed. Rufus, get a job. Let's see. I'm going to try to catch up on questions. It looks like I'm like a mile behind now. Rufus, question: would it be possible to let pot owners have the ability to take screenshots of their pot top dead center with the whole scene in one screenshot? It'd be tough to figure out a way to do that without introducing exploits. There's not big things, and I know this is basically what you want. Is you want to be able to slew around your own town, so you can take a screenshot. How about this? I'll do it for you, Rufus. Snap. There it is. It's on the stream. That's a nice layout, man. I like that. You maximize all the row lots, but it's not just like square blocks and stuff. Well done, sir. You got probably used up most of your deco stuff on those big walls, but walls look awesome. All right, getting back in here. Question: function to combat bar to prevent dragging certain glyphs off the bar. Wait a minute. Did we not get that in? Seriously? All right. That's one of those things every release I think gets done, and it's not done. Yeah, and it should just be, we let you do whatever, lock it, or actually I guess it needs to be in maybe it's in the interface over here. Come on. There you go. No, not new deck. Oh, that'll work too. Yeah, it's not. All right. I just made a note about it. That's one of those pet peeves of mine too, because I do it too. I mean, I play the game more than most of the devs, more than any of them except for maybe Travis. But we all know that he spends all of his time decoing and playing instruments, musical instruments. He's obsessed. But yeah, and that hits me all the time too, is dragging icons out. Quick nose blowing break. Oh, look, Mojito's a little visible now. All right, camera coming back. Let's see. Trying to catch up on some more questions here. Sitting at 99 viewers. That's good. Again, for those who don't know, part of the reason why I'm doing this is so we can become Twitch partners. And we need to average 75 viewers. And we need to do 25 hours a month. And we need to have 12 streams to get there. So I got to make sure and keep viewers up. Hang up there, viewers. And yes, I know how to get my viewers up, which is to give out prizes and have prize stuff built into the Twitch chat, so you guys can get stuff out. I'll try to get that in for the next stream, which may be tomorrow, maybe Thursday. Star has discouraged me from streaming on Friday because he's worried I'll confuse you guys. Apparently, he thinks you're easily confused on what the stream is, whether it's our the Friday stream where we get more people in, or my stream. So I told him I'd get on and warm up the crowd a little bit and give like an hour before, kind of like the comedian warm up or whatever, or the opening band. But he discouraged that. Go look at the top windows of the gold row houses. That what I'm supposed to be looking at? Not sure what I'm supposed to be looking at, Rufus. Looks like they're invisible. Maybe that's what you're talking about? I'm going to go with really, really clean. You should get some more cedar pollen on those windows, then you'll be able to see them. Let's see, I'm going to try cutting ahead here. How about carpeting or hardwood flooring? Chris Pallid asks. Wall-to-wall style. That's another one that would be tough data-wise, that we'd have to go and set that up where the carpeting could go on the house, like the blueprint. It'd be tough. Also, if you wanted like shag carpet, we'd suck at that too. Have you seen the fur on the bears? It's tough. Wallpaper. Yeah, and swapping textures, materials would be good if things were set up that way. Like this is an example of one where it would be like, hey, if you could come in here and swap the wallpaper, that's probably a single wallpaper texture. If we swap that out with something else, it would totally change the look of the place. And again, these houses are built with lots of textures, lots of materials, and rather than having a single set baked all together. Which again, in a town where this house may be in there 20 times, that one wouldn't be in there. I think that's one of those super special ones. And Elwin apparently gave us 1 bit and got a mark of shame. Shame, Elwin. Yes, in the list you always forget to hide your pet. Yes, you did. Let's see. Liz, did you want to jump in? Let me go look. Maybe you said something on the live stream. I'll gladly get you in here rather than you just trolling me invisibly. Yes, and I do have updates that build 935 is published. That should fix the towns. There will be one more additional build. There'll be the final build, last build, that will be coming out probably tomorrow. That I'll get some. There'll be some store stuff in that, and one other small fix for town. Reading questions, also horrible stream behavior is just ignoring you guys and looking over here. Let's see. Ambrose Fox, I'm sure it's been asked, no problem, big deal. Any new hairstyles coming? I am not aware of time being spent on hair. That is one of the things that's on our this is the ugliest part of our game list. It's another one of those things that's really tough. There's a lot of good ways to do hair shading, but a lot of it falls apart when you get to when you use the rendering mode that we really need to use so that we can have lots of dynamic lights and lots of stuff going on. So we can do some of the stuff, but you end up just with a lot of like alpha feathering or cutout feathering. I've really got the wax hair going on here. This is even worse. Yeah, hair is really tough to make good, and I think that's one of the problems we have right now, and why we haven't gone back and taken a stab. It is so hard to make hair that looks good, and every time we make them, we're how bad they look. Hold on 1 second. I am going to add my buddy. Let's see. Travis. There he is. Bam. Yeah, who doesn't know that sound? Let's see if I can get you on screen now. Nope, that's wrong. Hold on. I'll get you. I'll find you. There we go. Bam.
Can you hear me?
Yes. I can't hear you.
I'm blowing my nose more than you.
Yeah, we're both suffering from allergy stuff here. Let's see. I'm still going down the list. I'm way behind. I should probably move to the bottom of the list and work up for a bit. Stack jumping potions to take the sky views of your town. I forget how many do I let people. I think I let you do a couple. You can stack growth potions a couple times. I don't know how many you can do with jump potions. I forget if I let people do that. But yeah, that would be cool since those are only work in pots anyways. Let me go check that and see if you can stack those. If not, I'll make them so you can stack them.
We'd have to make the zone borders infinitely high if you do that, so...
I know.
We can. Totally can.
Let me see. Jump pot. Rune potion jump. Hold on, I'm checking stuff for you as we talk. Alright, so right now it gives you 20 jump strength. That's actually quite a bit. But yes, stack count is 1. 40, it's one of those things just because distance, how high you go is based on 1/2 AT squared, or yeah, 1/2 AT squared, but no, we need velocity, so yeah, but half velocity, but it's really 1/2 AT squared because you're really talking about acceleration downwards, countering that, so the squared part is the part that's would be tough, is going twice the jump speed gives you 4 times as high. So even though it seems like you don't jump super high, if I bumped it so you could stack it twice, you would be through the sky dome, and then the world would end. I'll demonstrate for you. I know you guys want me to. Apply buff. Atos. Jump strength. 40.
I gave you 200 a minute ago. You might want to make sure it's not still on you.
It looks like there may be. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. So let me see what it would be like if you did 40. Here we go. You guys ready? I'll also do time scale 0.3, 0.25. Here we go. Jumping in slow-mo. You know what? 40's not that bad. Maybe I can change it so you can stack twice. I don't think they can get over boundary stuff. They'd have to know exactly where that crap was. I guess they wouldn't know, but...
Yeah, we can just grab them all and scale them up at once. It's not hard.
All right, here comes a live Twitch stream change.
Oh god,
You want
let
it?
us fix the borders first.
Hold on. I'm changing it so jump potions stack. You can go 2 jump potions. That'll get you as high as what I just did. Rufus, that should get you high enough so you can get a good screenshot of your town.
I don't know how tall the zone borders are for every pot template.
Oh, I forgot to do the camera thing. I'll do it next time. I just have the fear of like I get a good productive blow in my nose and like all this junk comes out and it's on there and I'm like, ugh. All right, back to the thing. What is in live patch 935? I don't see an updated patch notes for it yet. Patch 935 is, I think, purely for fixing 2 towns where people had traded towns, and half the data got moved and the other half did not. Again, that was this guy, missing Burning Toad, who normally does those integrations as our build guy. Has a lot more experience, but anyways, that was me messing up an integration. That was to fix those guys because they were extremely broke. Like, they couldn't get to 2 towns at all. But there'll be one more final patch that'll come in probably tomorrow that'll have some new store stuff in it, some pirate stuff and some other things. And that'll be it. That'll be the last one. And then we're going to try to see how this QA build does. The QA build that just went live this morning is on the latest version of Unity. And of course, it's a newer version of Unity, so they fixed lots of bugs, right? I guess we're glass houses kind of stuff on that, on the bug stuff. But anyways, they don't do so well on the bug fixing quite frequently. We'll see how it does. If it's good, we're going to leave it on there and we'll move, because it did seem to perform better. I was having better results on the QA version than on live right now, at least. But 935 only to fix pots. Do. Oh, and for those who were watching, let me, before I forget, submit this jump potion change. So you guys can thank Rufus. Jump potions will stack twice now, so you can get 4 times as high. Will now stack twice. That'll be in the next release, R64. Nah, I don't think we have to worry about raising the zone borders on stuff. I think we'll be fine. I mean, worst case is, yeah, they get outside of a zone border and they can get some stupid screenshots. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's that bad. If it were like they could somehow exploit it, I don't think there's really any exploits I can think of. You can stand on the opposite side of the zone border. Let's see. Patch notes. Hold on. Avatar weapons. Can't you make the avatar hold the weapons to their side when they're not in combat? Them appearing from out of nowhere is one of the worst unpolished parts of the game. Yeah, and that's one of those things people have requested that we put them on the back, like you sheathe your weapons. Those are all things that seem really tough, but due to the combinations of a number of different weapon types, number of different types of gear, like, oh, you could have like a quiver on your back, you could have a backpack back there, you could have a cloak back there. It all gets really complicated, and it's one of those things that seems easy, but it's actually really hard. Same thing with putting a weapon at a side. Then you start looking at, oh, hey, guess what? This stupidly unpolished thing is now my sword is cutting through my leg half the time and cutting into the ground the other half the time. So actually having it so you hold the sword out but down might be an easier fix for it. I always do this, by the way. You guys can't see what I'm doing, but I'm trying to play the live stream because it has the game on it, and I'm over there trying to click on the screen. Again, this pretend your grandpa's streaming. That's what you're getting here. But yeah, so having it so you hold it down. I don't know if we have a neutral pose that's more off to the side than that, where you can run with it. Poof, vanish. But you can see right there, like if I did want to take that bow and I put it on my back or whatever, it would be already colliding with my quiver. My quiver, which Scooby-Doo made me. Thank you very much, Scooby-Doo. Oh, and I need to go get the last thing. You sent me one more piece I need to get out of the...
I think I have seen a scabbard Jira, kind of like the quiver.
Yep. Yes, for those people who've used the jump potions, you can easily kill yourself. The usual silly thing that people do is they... Like, look at me, I can jump on top of houses now. It's awesome. And then they jump off the house. But really what it does is it compares your uptime to downtime, and if one is greater than the other, like that would have killed me probably. So it's easy to die jumping, because you jump and you land in a tree, and you're like, oh, I jumped in a tree, and then you jump out of the tree, and you fall, and you hit the ground, and you die. Ooh, somebody has the Led Zeppelin heraldry in their cache file. Yes. I will not say your name out loud, but yes, person who messaged me. If you could send me the name of that Led Zeppelin file, that might help me track it down. I'm going to replace it with like a Barney or something. That'd be just as bad as the Led Zeppelin stuff. Let's see. And Elwyn Moon is still having troubles getting to the website. Yeah, and that's one of those things that happens is sometimes the interwebs picks bad routes, or some switch someplace goes down. And it doesn't have a good way to route around it, and it takes time for the interwebs to fix things. All right. Thank you, person that I shall not name, so you do not get blamed by the other person. Hold on, I gotta do a quick screenshot of that. Okay, got it. Let's see. Gotcha, fail. Let's see. For every bug you fix, you break 5 things. That's probably not true. Probably not 5 things. For every new feature we add, we break 5 things. But fixing bugs, we're usually pretty good about fixing one bug. 1 step forward, no steps back. But yes, new features, yes, we do all the connections, and games are big and hard. Question, are the jump potions learnable via alchemy? No, they are bought with Kodo. That's one of those things that since it's purely for fun, you can only use them in towns and pots. And I think you can only use them in non-PvP pots. It may not work on PvP people. I forget all the different limitations we had on, but because it was purely a for fun thing, it's kind of like the shrink and the grow potion. I mean, really, we consider them to be more party potions than something you actually use anywhere. And that's kind of where we like to... we would rather push our monetization to that type stuff than to try to do what some other games do and push a lot of pay-to-win monetization stuff. As you go and look at other games and see what stuff they monetize on, I think we do pretty good on keeping it on frivolous stuff that doesn't negatively impact gameplay for other people. Let's see. Zone borders work both ways. Yes. That's somebody saying that zone borders work both ways. And for those who don't know, there's actually like a marker that says, here's where you're going to exit the town and enter into Novia or some other scene. And those borders are actually, they have a thickness to them, but they work from either side of them. And so if someone does jump all the way outside of them, again, all they have to do is run back into the field and they'll teleport out just like normal. Let's see. Cleo Dude, will the Envy Angel be gone next update? I forget if we're leaving Envy Angel in or taking it out because we got it in a little late. We keep doing this, like we have this stuff coming up and we put it in and then it should have been in the last release. So then, even though it's a seasonal, we take it out. I am not sure if we're taking Envy Angel out. I know the rabbit is going to show up, but there may be a month overlap between the rabbit, pardon me, the Arch Lepin or whatever we call it, the Bunny of Death. But there may be a month overlap. Travis, do you know?
I'm sorry, because when we expire the
When the Envy Angel
Death Bunny, I don't know.
The Envy Angel is kind of a different case than we've had before because the Envy Angel actually has a fairly desirable weapon. It's not the absolute best bow in the game, but it's not too far off from the best bow in the game. So having something that expires that has a very desirable drop is something different. The Death Bunnies have nothing really, no gear worth that much. They
have all the paintings and decorations.
Paintings and decos and stuff like that. I turned off my camera so I can blow my nose. Sorry. Let's see. Man, getting a lot of questions here. Can you look up what the price one single 25-year-old whiskey will sell to NPC vendors?
10 at the moment.
Yeah.
I think they want to make a profit selling to the NPCs.
Yeah, and this is one of our kind of general design rules, and this is another one you can blame me for. But our goal is to not make stuff that you guys make to sell to vendors for profit. As soon as we do that, we create loops. We want you to create stuff that you can sell to other players. So because of that, most things sell to vendors or to merchants for really crappy prices, and that's why we want to make sure there's never any of these loops where you can just, again, you could macro it or make your entire profit just pulling gold out of merchants. And there's lots of reasons for that. Again, some of it is just to make sure we avoid some loops where you just have profit loops that don't have a comparable amount of time to go with them. And then the other reason is because it helps prevent inflation in the economy. We don't have a huge problem with that. I think some people think that there's a little bit more of a problem than there is. We can see how much gold is in there per person. And there's a little bit of inflation, but it's actually kind of where we want it. Just like in the real economy, for those who don't know, there has to be some inflation or else you get into some problems where you start having stagflation or deflationary economic situations. But we want to make sure there's a little bit of inflation going on, and that's kind of where we are. I think people saw they were judging the economy purely by what Kodos were selling for, and they saw that those were going higher and higher and higher. But that really is because we've continued to add lots of things that demand Kodos. There wasn't really much use for premium currency before. Now everything's premium currency. So guess what? Everybody wants premium currency. And I say premium currency, but that's just the crowns. And yes, they do drop in game as I continue to get people thanking us for the changes we made so that they drop a lot more in game. But anyway, so that's why your 25-year whiskey sells for so little to the merchants, is because we don't want to create things that pump gold into the game like that through repeatable actions. The whiskey and the things that take aging time, kind of like gardening, farming stuff, we generally have them do a little bit, but not too much because there's a time element involved. The whiskey is one where it's a little bit challenging because there were some exploits going on where there's a way you can store an infinite number of barrels, and then it just turns into, I can just have a guy macroing barrels out, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of barrels, and then yeah, sure, it's got to wait, but 25-year game years, but still it happens, and then then you sell a bazillion barrels. So anyways, that's why. I know it makes some people unhappy because they can't craft stuff just to sell to merchants, but that's really not the game loop we want. We want you guys interacting with other players. Did I ever add stats to the Krampus staff? Oh, you know what? I don't think I did. I went through all the trouble to farm one, and it had no stats. Lols. Actually, it's a sad monkey. Let me go check. Again, that's part of what I'm doing here today is talking to you guys, taking questions, and some of them are bugs or feature requests. I'm trying to make sure and get those things done while you wait. Hold on. Krampus. Item weapon. Two-handed staff. Krampus. Birch branch. Sinuses. Yes, it looks like the Krampus staff has no benefits right now. We should talk about that. Travis, what do you think the Krampus staff should do?
Oh.
It is a two-handed bludgeon.
Yeah, but it's magic, isn't it?
It's supposed to be magical. The two things it has on it right now is it has the damage is meh, not the best. Yeah, it's really got nothing. Free attack, tick one.
Focus regen as a innate. Focus regeneration.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't think we really have anything that has that on there.
Just food.
Yeah, I mean, food gives it to you right now. If you have Krampus, you can probably use food. Of course, this is one of those where it's always with you. Yeah, I mean, we don't have many stabs that have that type of stuff. Combat focus regen. Trying to remember what that number is on that. But yes, I will be adding that right now. I'll leave this up on my screen. But yeah, I'll be adding some combat focus regen. Does it feel like Krampus? I forget. The Krampus was, he had the children around him, and he got bonuses from the little children. I'm trying to think if there's anything we could work that in. That's effect area thing he had was really expensive to keep up. I wouldn't want players to get that on their staff because they'd be using it all the time. But yeah, I'll get something on, get some stats on this thing. I'll get the get it boosted up to a decent level.
They're saying the Demon Trident also doesn't have anything on it.
All right, yeah, hold on. Let me check this combat focus regen and make sure it does what I think it does. Those are the worst bugs, is when we have a stat in there and I think it's on a 0 to 100 base, and it's actually on a 0 to 1 base. And I set a number on it, and then it gets in the game, and we haven't had any of those last very long. Fortunately, players tell us about us, but there have been a few of those. So I always try to go and look at the code to make sure when I'm changing these things. But yeah, Krampus staff, I think combat focus regen. I could also just have it have a focus boost to the pool. I think there's some people that would appreciate that as well, especially those guys like air mages. I mean, they're going to be using bows or swords or something, or pole arms or something. Let's see. 1 second. Hey, Travis, why don't you talk for a while while I search for code stuff?
I see Mojito's woken up.
Mojito, do you want to talk to the fans? Hey, bud.
Yeah, we gotta get an emote of Mojito can. I'm just taking some screenshots of some of the new stuff. Could the running animations be changed so weapons larger than daggers don't clip through our heads? Possibly. Yeah, that's still a thing with the. It's a hard sell to use a staff because you get the double skill bonuses with 2 wands. So.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
That's something we talk about. I don't think we have a definitive change to that yet, but we're aware and we do talk about it. Mocking myself.
Or
Yeah, that's an animation thing. Yeah, at some point we'll polish some combat animations. Specialization. Looks like they want some more rune data, or no, they want the skill tree data to know what the specialization is actually doing to each skill, I guess. I think you knew that one already.
Yeah, and that's one of those where again, I would like to do it, but it's really tough to get it in there. I try to have the description in text, but yeah, I know that they don't want to just have like a simple one-line description. They want to see the actual numbers on things.
Yeah.
What do you think? 2 combat focus? 2 focus per second?
Ooh, that's a bunch.
I was thinking like some of the foods give like 5, I think. It's kind of a peak.
5. I think like 0.8's the highest I've ever seen. Yeah, 2's great.
2, yeah, and that's just how many points per second. There's 2 different types of focus regen. There's one that is a percentage multiplier, where it multiplies like 0.8, but it multiplies that times your actual focus pool size.
Oh, gotcha.
So this is actually 2 points. You get back 2 points of focus.
Per second? Yeah. I would go higher without breaking something. Not too high.
I would rather do the... That's a good productive one there. I'd rather do the plus focus per second.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, the guys up at the super high-end... who do we have in chat here? Like the devil cults of the world. They don't need percentage bonuses because that, for them, ends up being crazy powerful, which is what the other type of focus bonus is. Having it as a fixed amount means that it helps the lobies more than it helps the high guys.
Yeah.
So that's why
cool.
I would go with focus per second rather than having
percentage.
Focus percentage amount being added back in. Let's see. Okay, so 2 combat focus. I think I'm also...
Yeah, combat focus is what we're talking about.
Yes. And I think I'm also going to give it a bonus to your focus pool. So your actual focus pool size, which, again, for people who use Shield of Air or something.
You should have received your dungeon room. We did it all at once. Maybe privately message one of us and we can look into that, I guess.
Yeah, Radicus, message list or Atos in game or in the forums, honestly, would be the better thing. Send it to Chris in the forums and I'll find out what happened. I think most people got theirs. If you didn't get theirs, we might have screwed something up. We're human. As for the 2-month wait on support, yeah, again, we... for those who haven't heard the sad story, Sarah, who we love dearly, but honestly was way overqualified for the job she was doing for us, moved on as we kind of knew she would in time, over to Star Citizen. We hope those guys are enjoying her company and great attitude. So she left, and then almost immediately after that, our other CS person, Chaox, injured his back in a bad way, and so we've kind of been without a CS department. We actually just brought on... It's tough finding a CS guy because it also hit us right at the same time when we were going office free and ditching the office.
Yeah, it's hard to train them, but...
Yeah, so it's hard to train them. So we actually found someone that is Wizard Smoke's wife, had some free time, and she started doing CS for us, which works out great because she has her husband right there with her, and he can answer all the crazy questions for her. And she also knows most of the people on the team. So anyway, she started, but now, as I mentioned earlier, he's one of the people that he's on vacation for most of this release, so she's also on vacation and not getting caught up on stuff. So actually burning code from Beijing and Shanghai and wherever he is right now, I don't even know where he is, has actually been doing some of the CS stuff and trying to handle some of this. But our CS, we suck. I don't think there's any good way to sugarcoat it other than we suck and we're working on fixing it. But it's a tough problem to fix because that is pretty much the only thing that if we had an office, that would actually help. And other than that, there haven't been too many problems with not having an office. We'll see how it goes. We're going to just team ask everybody what they think about the Office, no Office thing at some point soon. Synchronize our nose plug.
Oh, I didn't turn my mic off. Sorry.
Yes, so we have sucked on CS. As for the probably the number one thing we get tickets on, are the poor bastards who still haven't got their boxes, and you can see your boxes basically right behind me there. And like I said earlier on the stream, in case you missed it, I'm going to start doing some live streams where I just start shipping boxes. And if you get on the live stream and tell me you haven't got yours yet, I'll move yours. I'll do yours right then and there, and you can watch me package it. And if you're watching the live stream and tell me to do it, I'll throw in some extra goodies in there. Like I've got a ton of these extra like coins and stuff that we gave away for conventions. Or I can throw in Snot Rag as envy.
Yeah, Kleenex.
That's what
Kleenex
he'll be getting. But anyways, but yeah, and I also have, as I've been threatening, I have a bunch of office artifacts. That's just crap that was hanging around the office that I don't know what to do with right now, but I'm trying to figure out ways to get rid of it in constructive ways, so I will just try and throw some of those things into people. But anyways, that's keep watching the stream. I'll make sure and put it in the Twitch headline, and going live thing is like a packing thing. I'm still waiting on one piece of data from Chaox. Last stream I was like, hey guys, give me your name and I'll look you up in the list and maybe I can ship them right now. And I looked up, 5 people gave me their actual names and shipping addresses, and none of them were in the list that I had. So basically, I think I have the list of everything that's been done up until now, and not the list of what still needs to be done. And we know where we can get that. It's just really painful to get unless Chaox gets it for us, and he's working on that right now.
Oh, I think he took that back with him, Eric.
Yeah, that's the other thing, as I mentioned, the painful part about the move. And we had done 4 or 5 of them over the years, moving around office to office. We were already somewhat nomadic, but the 2 things that were painful was, 1, moving a server room with 17 server boxes in it. Lots of them have to have different like IP switches and offline, take care of DNS stuff and PTR records and I forget all the other crap, but it's basically moving the servers from one space to another and different IPs and all that stuff. So that
without downtime, though, significant.
Yeah. But then the other thing that was a huge headache was each time we would move, we would have to move all the Richards stuff, all the artifact stuff, and a lot of that stuff is like, hey, look, it's an original 8-foot-long Hildebrandt painting that was like the original one where you can actually see all the brush marks and stuff on it by the Hildebrandt brothers, which I believe one of them is dead, and like super famous painting. And so we'd have to move that thing, and it's pretty much priceless. So we have to call in people to come in and carefully box it up and move it to the next place and put it up. So going forward, and this is relevant for those who are coming over for taking part in one of the Lord of the Isle events or in the SodaCon stuff coming up, is some of that stuff will be set up down at Richard's property down by the lake. He has a very nice property down by the lake where he has a replica of the Globe Theater and the Ultima Villages and kind of a famous area there. He's got a pirate ship there and a fort. So those guys who were going to be doing tours of the office will now be doing tours of that area, because that's where all the history is moved to. And we'll just try to drag as many people of the team down there to hang out with you guys as possible. So
barbecue.
Yeah, still pretty much the same thing of an office tour, but even though we don't have an office, but it's where the history is, and it's actually a much cooler thing. You can go in like Richard's crazy cave that goes straight into the earth, and
is that for the bats? What was the?
That was the escape passage from Richard's castle that he started, but did not finish. Let's see. Owen says he went to college with one of the Hildebrandt brothers' sons. Ravenslayer, the tapestry paint. Yeah, there was something for Ultima 9 that I think the Hildebrandt one was kind of a Ultima Online one. That's the one that it's kind of famous and like it's been used on boxes and stuff like that. But this was the original of it. It's the one with the man dragon. As Star always hates the dragon that's in that painting. That's the dragon that has like the big muscly arms and looks like a guy in a dragon suit like Godzilla. So he's not fond of that part of the painting, but I mean the whole painting's still amazing.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
Let's see. I think we might have caught up. Unity Stadia thing all about. I'm not sure what Unity Stadia thing is. I keep up on stuff. I try not to get too obsessed with new Unity features for a while because they break things. It's always in the future, coming soon. But let me check real quick. I probably have read about this and just... Let's see. Yes, pardon me while I do... the Google keynotes. The Google streaming stuff. So for those who don't know, I'm not reading that page on, but this is just what I was reading up on earlier today. This is a technology that's been in the works for a while. I know a few people who have started down this path, but haven't been successful. This is Google streaming. They're trying the new thing, but basically it's the same thing for all of them, which is rather than having game where you download the game and you play the game on your computer, it instead is just a really thin client or even a web browser. You can use Chrome and you play the game in Chrome, but the actual web browser is sending whatever keystrokes you have, mouse input, all that stuff. It's sending that through Chrome. It's sending it to the server, and the client actually runs on servers at their space. So rather than it being like, hey, I want to play Shroud of the Avatar, let me go get the installer. Now, installer downloads stuff for half an hour or an hour, and then you start playing whatever. Instead, it all runs on their machines. They actually have the video cards there, they have the CPUs there, and it's actually just live encoded as if streaming video. So you can imagine like Twitch stream stuff. They've done a much better job of getting the lag down. I'm not sure they're going to get it to a point where shooters could ever work on it. I mean, when I see shooters, like they're arguing over whether getting 144 hertz LCDs is better than using old CRT monitors. Like they're arguing over that type of stuff for fractions of millisecond type improvements. Hey Travis, you did a thing. Hold on, I gotta find what happened here. Oh, call ended. Come back, Travis. All right, hold on a second. I'll get Travis back on there. He's having a coughing fit. Yeah, we're both suffering. We've been complaining on the channel. Oh, but anyways, back to the gaming thing. So that it's a super cool idea if they can pull it off. Some things it would benefit from is like, hey, guess what? You don't have to worry about any type of hackers or cheatery or any of that type of stuff because everything runs on your servers in your space. In terms of updates, like then the host, whoever's running things, like he gets to update all the clients. He knows they're all going to be updated. You don't have to worry about compatibility issues or like, hey, that guy's trying to play the game on a 550 Ti with 512 megs of RAM. You really shouldn't. He's having a bad experience. Their experience is going to be the same across all platforms. It gives you kind of a console-like thing where you can develop for a single platform rather than having to do what we have to do, where we've got to have like 97 different versions of performance tuning and all that jazz. So it offers a lot of real significant benefits. The challenge that comes with it is, and again, if you're Google and you have $50 billion in the bank, then you can pull it off. But the challenge with it is you've got to host all the servers. So there's actually some other things that have come up just recently, along with that announcement today from Google and other people. There was also an announcement of NVIDIA announced that they've got basically servers that can go into rack servers that have up to, in a single, I think it's a 4U unit, that a single 4U unit can host up to 80 video cards. And they're basically all single slot. It's crazy how many they can get in one small space. So yeah, so they're hosting all that, and as you can imagine, it takes a lot of power to run a single box with 80 video cards in it. But again, it gives them a solid platform, a consistent platform. They know what the performance, they know what they're designing for, and patching and keeping everything up to date is super simple, and it gets you into the game quicker. But it does introduce some lag, but they claim that they have the lag down so small now that it's really not a problem. Again, it's one of those things where I think it's cool, but I need to see it to believe it. But yeah, super neat tech, brings up a lot of good possibilities, and there's no, also at that point there's no more, you don't buy the game, it's again like everything in the industry trying to move to software as a service or whatever as a service where they host everything for you. Cloud computing at the final level, which is games. Hold on, I gotta blow my nose again. I hate your nose. 1 second. I need to get a humidifier into my office in here. All right. So Unity's support for Stadia, I'll have to go read up on that. I'm somewhat excited about the technology. It could be cool. And again, it's any platform at that point, because it's really just running the game at full quality in a browser. But I'll have to do some more reading on it. I've read up on some of the Google stuff today. I didn't see Unity's announcement for Stadia, and I didn't know it was called Stadia. I don't know how I missed that part. All right, give me one more second here while I check out some stuff. All right, still hovering well above our 75 minimum user. I got to average, so I'm not boring you too much, I guess. And again, I will start bribing you guys. I know that's why we stream, because one of the things I've done is looked at the stats for my talks versus our Friday streams, and how many different people talk in the chat is one of the stats it gives me. And if you look at the concurrency on the Friday streams, the concurrency is way higher. It's like almost twice the concurrency, or 3 times the concurrency sometimes. But the actual number of unique people talking is actually about the same. So I know you guys are just tuning in because you want prizening, and you want to see the prizening stuff. But anyways, I will get prizening going here for these weekday streams. Let's see. Catching up on questions again. Devil Cult says, just get Shroud ready with IL2 CPP before the end of 2019, and cross fingers that Unity does all the dirty jobs. So we do. That's another thing that's going in. I think that might be turned on for the QA release. I have not gone to verify myself, but it is a feature we've turned on before. It's called IL2 CPP. That is, I forget what it's called. Incremental library to CPP some crap. But anyways, what it does is it takes the compiles basically the C# into C++ code. C# compiles more into a bytecode stuff, which actually is crazy fast these days. You would not believe, even though it's not a fully compiled native language, it is crazy fast in terms of execution speed. And you guys are letting Envy beat you, you know. Envy's still on top. You guys should be having a competition here, right? Come on, that's our pizza money. Sorry. Yeah, so IL2 CPP turns in C++ code that then gets compiled native. We turned it on a while back, and we saw a slight increase in our crash rate, and we saw a 0.0% improvement in our frame rate. So then we quickly went back and turned it off. We did turn on a number of new things for this QA build, and I'm not sure which one is contributing the performance, but I think IL2 CPP is on for this build. So, yeah, we'll see. But we will be turning on IL CPP if possible for this release. Wish us luck. It's a feature that's one of those that should have been a Holy Grail type feature, and it did not really do anything for our game. All right, I'm going to try and catch up on questions again. Yes, there wasn't Discord voice in game. We did have Discord chat in game for a while. Then Discord changed their authentication stuff, and we tried to keep up and kind of just put it on the back burner for a while. I would love to get Discord chat back into the game, but again, they keep changing their auth stuff. And Discord, if you think about it, is a super young product. I mean, those guys have done amazing stuff. I'm a huge Discord fan, so not trying to knock those guys. I spend all my time, all my energy knocking Unity, so not Discord. Love Discord, but yeah, they have been changing quite a bit lately. So we just didn't want to fight with the changes, and I think they're kind of to a more stable point now. So we'll try and get that on there. Let's see. Speaking of prizoning, Merrick Dragon says, speaking of prizoning, have you looked into Twitch drops for Shroud streamers? Twitch drops for Shroud streamers. Again, you have to pretend that this is your dad or your grandpa streaming here. I don't know what Twitch drops for Shroud streamers means. Which, of course, is saying something because I think Merrick is probably older than me. And he knows what it is apparently. Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, I just finished up the Krampus Birch Branch. So the Birch Branch staff is going to give 2 combat focus per second extra regen, and it will add 50 focus to your pool. I save that one off. And then I will go hit the demon staff while I'm on the stream. That which lurks. Question: was the demon chaos bug where it never scaled in damage effectiveness fixed? Yes, it was. How about his low health pool? So again, something was fixed. I'm not claiming that it is as powerful as he should be. Also, could we see the demon's model without the particle effects? I don't want to do that to you guys. It's horrible. Yeah, it's not pleasant. And that's after we did some work on it. Like, I actually went in and did some more work on it, applied some detail textures to it, and put a glowing, moving texture on it, trying to make it better. So it hides a lot of just how bad it was, but it's horrible. So the demon. So there's a couple things to talk about with that. One is the demon is still pretty weak. The thing that was fixed was I took the initial pass at it, and I just went and looked at it because I didn't set him up the first time. He had a innate bonus. He was supposed to have a strength bonus. He was supposed to have a strength bonus that was based on the caster's skill level times a number. But instead of it being the caster's skill level times a number times strength, that many more strength points, it was actually adding that to his jump strength, which does nothing. I didn't want to do too many changes on him, so I fixed that bug and left him alone. He is still pretty weak, so I need to go take another pass at him. The other thing that we've talked about on past streams is he's also been reclassified to be a lesser demon summon, and that the long-term plan is still to have the greater demon summon. That'll be a much more powerful demon that requires the 2 cast thing, the cast to summon it and the cast to charm it. Basically take control of it. That is still on the list, but that's why we've renamed the current demon to a lesser demon. But yes, I will try to make sure he gets better. Let me go take a pass at that right now while we're talking about it. So it'll be in the next QA build. Demon summon. Let's see. Hold on. Alright, so right now It is adding parent summon demon power. I think that may be, I'll have to look and see what that is, but it's adding 2 times that number to his health. That number divided or times 0.75-ish to his level, and that number times 3-ish to his strength. So I will go look to see where that number is, what that number comes from. The summon demon power. Maybe that's not what whoever set this up thought it was, and verify that for you. 1 second. I know you just see me typing and not actually doing anything, but doing something. Yeah, so that is every point of summon demon counts as 1 towards that. So in theory, if you have 100 skill, he should get 335 strength bonus. And that is actually 335, but that can be up to twice that amount, because if you have Chaos Mastery, it's 1 times that amount. So I'm actually kind of surprised that he doesn't seem stronger than what you guys think he is. Because it seems like if you have Chaos Mastery at like 100, and you have Summon Demon at like 120, he should have around 800 strength and be hitting like a mofo. Oh, you know what? The thing I need to go check? Thing I need to go check is what his weapon is. Maybe his weapon doesn't have the proper bonuses on it. Oh, and this is also a good test because I'm trying to see if just me sitting here fixing bugs and talking to you guys keeps enough viewers watching to make sure I keep up my Twitch partner or whatever that is thing that we're trying to get. Because I don't want to bore you guys too much by looking into these bugs on the fly with you guys. But let me look at the summon weapon. There we go. Auto attack. Let's see. So it is doing his summon demon auto attack is using melee damage, which does use the uses the normal formulas for strength. But let me check his weapon. And this, again, should be an example of, hey, guess what? There's like a million different ways we can screw stuff up. And his weapon has a pretty good SDD, strength damage divider. So yeah, so now I'm really puzzled why he would not be stronger. I'll get in game here. Actually, let me jump over to the game. Oh, hey, it's Sheldon Cooper. Hey, Sheldon. I'm going to do a summon. Let's see. Use reagents false. Let me jump over here to chaos. And do the summon demon. I'll do that right there. Now we wait for it. Wait for it. Let's try and see what weapons you're using there. Almost there. Wait for it. Almost there. Okay, there we go. My math is on, this guy should have in the neighborhood of like 600 plus strength. And if not, guess what? I can go look into a bug. Let's see. So yeah, so he's got an 1100 strength. I'm not sure why they do not hit more. And his health, 549. Why is it so low? That should be way higher. Let me look. So his health, 549, current health. Yeah, I'm surprised. I think if the strength bonus were getting factored into that should have been way, way higher. So this is one of those things, again, everything seems easy until you try to make a giant game, and there's so many different ways things can get screwed up. But there's some things where the order of operations matter. So when we go through the loop calculating stuff, we have to set the priority. And I bet this is one where if I go back and look at how that stuff gets added, yeah, so they're all being added at the same phase in the calculations where it's going through the loops, like adding stuff, and it's adding all the stats, and all that stuff. So it's all getting added in no phase override, which means the health gets calculated and then the strength gets added. So normally strength, as everybody knows, is the biggest biggest factor in how much health you have. So it looks like the problem, thanks for you guys pointing this stuff out, the problem is likely that his strength needs to be moved up in a phase so it happens before the health. So I'm going to try that, and we will see if that fixes it. Hold on, I'm going to try that in game over here. I'm going to have to pop out. Now I'll just test it on my own. But anyways, so yeah, so maybe I did just find the problem. It looked like that there's a phase problem with that, which is why his strength is what I would expect it to be, really, really high for a Chaos Mage. And again, he's got an 1144. If I go and turn off, if you want to see how much Chaos Mastery matters, 1144 there. Oh, I've got to resummon him. And he still has an 1144. Okay, now I'm just looking stupid. Am I not on Chaos? Chaos Specialization? Is that not actually factoring in how I think it is? Sort of bug with that? Let me check one more time. Prime streaming content here. Devs reproed bugs. So strict is still 1144. That's not what I would expect it. And Sheldon Cooper, you guys can't see it, but he says, "What are elementals the best pet?" Yes, I know. Everybody thinks that, and actually I agree. And that's one of those things also that he got a boost to the part that people like, which is, of course, his healing. If you are specialized in water magic. So water mages get, not only do they get coolest pet, but then the pet heals even more if you're water specialized. Hey, it's applesauce pants. But yeah, so it looks like I've got a couple of bugs to look into for this guy. One is it doesn't seem like the strength, it looks like I'm getting the bonus that I shouldn't be getting, or the specialization. And then two is the order of operations for the strength being applied after the health. Let's check out Applesauce Pants and see how he looks. Let's see what's his health at. 5. I'm sure he likes being exposed on the stream. Or Sheldon Cooper. Everybody's keeping score at home. These are the risks you take if you come and crash my stream. Take that, Applesauce Pants. Actually, people usually like it when I do that because there's a lot of stats in there they can't see otherwise. Okay. That which lurks. I have Chaos Specialization 100, Summon Demon at level 110. His normal attack is 78 to 117. That sounds pretty good to me, so that is kind of what I would expect. So I'd expect him to be hitting for about that much. But his Demon Chaos ability does 3 to 12 and has no ability or damage scaling. He also has health of 503. Okay, so I found the health problem. That is an order of operations thing. Let me look at the other thing, which you just called out. And again, this is kind of what some of my streams are going to end up being, which is me getting on air, talking to you guys reporting bugs, and me fixing the bugs while you watch. So his demon... Let me find his chaos... Yeah, I'm surprised he has a Chaos Bolt. Hold on, let me find this guy. Demon T Prefab. Looking. All right, I found him. Let me find his attacks, and then I'll tell you what's going on. So yes, he does have the correct weapon. Looking for his chaos attack. Hold on. Ah, there we go. Attack skills. Demon attack, chaos bolt. It has a really long cast time. And then, okay, so here's what's going on. So his chaos bolt does call the correct function. It's calling the spell damage. And it is doing the proper amount using negative attunement. So the problem with it, though, is if you recall from a few minutes ago, I read out exactly what things get boosted when he is summoned. Let me do the summon demon. There it is. His innate. So the three things that increase based on your skill level and your level are adventure level, health, and strength. Do any of those things help a magic attack? So I'm going to go ahead and give him a int bonus as well. That I will make it a little less than his strength bonus, because if he had that kind of int bonus, that chaos bolt, if he had 1100 intelligence, that chaos bolt would be sweeping the floors with all the creatures around it. Okay, so I'm gonna try that. So he'll have a bonus of about 200 int, and I'll try this out on Dev here in a little while when you guys aren't on stream. I'll put that on my list for morning testing. Test demon and also demon health and also chaos bolt damage. All right, so there we go. You got some live bug fixing. Again, this is something I didn't set up. I'm just looking at it. I did take a stab at fixing it, but when I came to look at it the first time, like I said, the thing that jumped out at me is like, this is clearly wrong, is it was getting a jump strength boost. I fixed that a few releases ago, but I did not have time to do a deep test like that. So yeah. The demon guys out there, congratulations. Your demon will suck 50% less next release. So yeah, now I just got to fix the bludgeon guys, and then you'll all be happy. And oh, holy cow! I've already been on over 2 hours. Well, this is good because I got to do 25 hours of streaming, and still at 95 viewers, so keeping my average above 75. Could the summon glyph descriptions be added what their specializations do for them? Yes. I did add specialization features for them. I forgot to go and edit the description for what the specialization gets you for the summon pet. So yes, I will get that on there. Let me add it to my list. Add specialization text for pet summonings. Let's see. Let's see. Is there any way to add the 3 different stats to each weapon so you don't have a problem with the strength archers? I'm not sure what you're referring to, Chef. We do have the stats on all weapons, that bows actually have a strength damage divisor on them. And basically, for those who don't know what that is we have like the base weapon damage. To that number, we add your strength divided by some number. And there's also a big fudge factor that gets thrown in there as well. I forget what the fudge factor is, but it's basically the strength damage divisor plus like 25. Your strength divided by that number is how much gets added to the base damage. So bows traditionally have a really high SDD, strength damage divisor, which means that strength does not increase the damage significantly. There's a couple of bows in games that have much better. The one that was added 3 releases ago, I think, was the Zen Penetrator, just because it's a really hard to get bow, and we want to make sure it was something actually cool and special. So it actually has a pretty high strength bonus, which is why it can be very effective for strong archers. And I just want to say, you guys are all slacking on my cheering. I'm not seeing any bits flow in. I just fixed some bugs for you. Come on, give me some bits. And yes, I suck at the streaming thing, especially when my sinuses are like this and I'm dying. But yeah, so the damage for bows for strength, maybe strength archers he's talking about, there's some archers who are using the Zen Penetrator bow or the Envy bow. The Envy is not as bad. Cleo Dude did not nerf Zen. I did not nerf Zen, that is correct. I've not touched Zen since it went live. It is pretty powerful. I know it's pretty powerful. I'm trying to leave it that way because it is also a really tough bow to get. I may have to drop it a nudge it down just a bit on the strength damage divisor, just because, yeah, I do have people sending me screenshots of their crazy 6 charge, aimed shot, critical with Firefly, hitting for 2,000 points or whatever. That's not the normal stuff that happens. Those are all things. There's some things you can do to increase crit multiplier, and then you get lucky with that crit multiplier roll, and it gets even bigger and bigger and bigger. So I try to avoid stuff that can be one-shot kill for things, but that's one that it's rare enough, and it's also hard enough to get, and you have to be totally focused on bow to get the real power out of it. Question: any more hints for the greater demon pet? And then also, what about the imp chaos summon? The imp is another one we've talked about making as a summon. And my stream's going to come to an end soon because I think I'm about to have a 5-year-old come up to visit me because my Ring doorbell just went off, meaning that there's motion out front. But yeah, the imp is one that we would like to look at just because it's kind of low-hanging fruit in terms of how pets. Because we already have the model, we already have it in game, we already have all the animations, all the tough stuff's already done, and sometimes people just like pets that look different. I thought we had imp pets that you could get that were NPC or non-combat pets, but yeah, I'd like actual pets. Let's see, and yes, Cleo do. Zen is very hard to get, and for those who don't know, that is a really tough fight. I don't think people can solo it now. I'm sure whenever I say that, like Armelian or whoever is going to jump in and say, I solo it every day. But it is a fairly rare drop. The Zen bow is a fairly rare drop off of a really hard fight that is almost impossible to do solo. For those who don't know, it's one where it's the mama spider, where if you kill her babies, she gets more and more powerful and faster and faster and faster. So you have a room full of 20 of the meanest spiders in the game, all spread out, and then you have the mama spider. If you guys haven't seen the fight, it's a fun one to watch or see someone stream. You have the mama spider, and the mama spider is really slow and only kind of tough unless you kill her babies. But of course, if you don't kill the babies, they're going to web you, they're going to poison you, they're going to chew you up pretty quick. So it ends up being a fight where you kind of need to kite the babies around. Well, then some people focus on mama spider. There's a couple different ways to do it. You can also, some people still brute force is just the easiest way of just, kill all the babies, AE kill all the babies, and then go after mama and just be an awesome pain. Let's see. Question: are pet tooltips still coming, and if so, when approximately? I do not know. I will have to check into that. That's one that I haven't had any touch, and I think I hear a 5-year-old just walking in the door here. For those who don't know, that's my daughter just turned 5 this weekend. So happy birthday, Maxine. Oh wait, and I think, hold on one second. I think I'm going to torture you guys with my video from her. Unless somebody gives me a question I need to answer here quick. Question. From what we've seen with the chaos specialization interaction with the demon, is there a bug with chaos specialization preventing any buffs from affecting the demon? Yeah. So what I can tell you is something weird is going on with specialization for the demon. It looked like I was getting the bonus even when I didn't have it as the active, one of my 2 active specializations. So I'm going to look into that tomorrow. Here is the amazing one. Slightly more amazing than... Whoops. Scrape you against my chair. Why don't you look up at the camera and say hi to the fans out there? Or at least the people who are watching. I can't guarantee they're fans. Don't look over there. That's where you are. That's where the people are. Look at that and they see you. Yeah. All right, Pumpkin, I'm going to get off here pretty quick. So give me a few minutes and I will come join you guys downstairs and make you some dinner. But before I do that, I'm going to punish you all with my video I made. 1 second. Hold on, wait for it. I know, horrible streaming. Let's see. I think I'm just gonna have to share the window over here. It's great TV time, right? Hold on, while I get my Beyond or my OBS browser turned on. Okay. Nope, that's not the right one. Again, at least 5 people have left since I started doing this, but I'm still going to show it. Okay. There we go.
In the town awake.
This is my going out segment here.
Oh, I know.
It is me walking home from eating barbecue programs with my daughter for her last day of being 4. And to a freestyle.
What's that? I can
I'm just holding the camera out in front of me in case you're wondering what's going on there.
I can hear you clap all day and long.
Now,
all day.
Now the numbers will really be plummeting.
All day, day.
I only lost 1 viewer.
Good.
But anyways, guys, thanks so much again for joining me on the stream. I'm doing the wrong thing again. Oh my goodness, stop, hide, close.
Stay still if you're going to...
Horrible at that.
I know what you're saying.
This was about 10 minutes of this freestyle, by the way. But anyways, guys, thanks again for joining me. Glad I could fix, what I get, like 4 bugs in?
I'm singing loud, up.
4 bugs? Okay, I'm going to pause that for you. I'm going to stop torturing you guys with that. But glad I fixed 4 bugs for you. Get rid of that. There we go. Glad I fixed 4 bugs for you. Answer a bunch of questions. I'm so sorry about being sinusy and stopped up. Envico, feel free to send me some good drugs that we don't have here in the U.S., but it's allergies, not cold. Unfortunately, because a cold would pass, allergies do not. They live with me forever. And everybody else who lives in Austin, pretty much. But right now is the worst time normal. But again, tomorrow I'll try to give a little more notice. I'm going to try to do this again tomorrow, maybe even Thursday as well. Just get on and live fix bugs for you guys. So get on, be a squeaky wheel, yell at me about bugs, and I will fix them, many of them on the fly. And if not, I'll get them to a point where I can investigate them in the morning, which is what I'm going to do for a couple of those with the demon. And we will get those on QA in the next week or so. And a reminder, go play QA. QA is got lots and lots of new stuff on it. Let's see, hold on. Discard. There we go. QA has lots of new stuff on it, and more importantly, I need you guys playing on QA so I can see what the crash rate looks like. Because we turned on a bunch of performance features on it, which is awesome. But generally that means our crash rate also goes through the roof because Unity can't add a performance feature without increasing the crash rate. Again, I only rag on Unity. If they would only give us the code, I wouldn't have to do that so much. But no, they want to monetize on the code, so bleh, Unity. And again, we love-hate Unity, and as I say on pretty much every time I bring up Unity and bash Unity, no matter what engine you use, you'll hate it by the time you finish making a game with it. A big game, at least. Again, you guys, weak sauce. You guys let Envico hold the top spot on the stream chat the whole time. Reminder, any Twitches. Oh, Merrick Dragon and List show up on there. But reminder, these it looks like it clears these things once every 7, or resets in 5 days. Yeah. So if you donate now, you'll show up on the top of the stream for the Friday stream with where we get 200 or 300 people in them. So feel free. And again, thanks everybody, and glad I could answer some questions and suffer through my sinuses and my camera off for nose blowing and all the other stuff. Did that little girl steal my dog? No, there's my dog. Hi, little dog. All right, Mojito, you want to say goodbye? Bye, friends. I will see you next time, and hopefully Travis will be well enough. He did not get back on camera because he said he was having a coughing fit, and he didn't want to get on camera with a coughing fit and have to keep muting his mic. So he will be on next time as well, though, hopefully. Talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for joining the stream, and again, I'll get better. Promise. You guys can watch me fix bugs and know that you were responsible for helping get that fixed in the next release. Thank you guys so much.